I decided yesterday that I'd take part in Movember, even though there was only 2 days left of November. And their mission statement is to stop men dying too young. So go check it out, raise awareness, and donate. I kind of look like a 70s gentleman. I then had a great local cameraman come and return some kit to me, which I'd lent him to film a gig on Sunday. And yeah, we just started to play around with what gear that I had around, and we started talking about the Osmo. As you can see, Marcin never does any work.
Just playing games.
Hey, that video that you did doing well, isn't it?
And the Osmo stuff, when he was like walking by the car, that looked amazing. In terms of like lighting and oh my god.
It's surprising. The Osmo can look absolutely fantastic, but it can also look dog shit. And so we thought, with an Osmo at our disposal, why don't we go out and test it? The light was beautiful, everything was on our side. Let's go see what this thing can do.
Look, it's so cold that I'm making ice in a car overnight.
Oh yeah, but first of all, we gotta go get pizza. Vlogging.
Vlogging?
Yeah.
Snapping?
And recording me eating pizzas all the time, because I love pizza. Spread those plates. Haha, yeah! What do you pay? £2 something. That's a whole lot of pizza for $2.89.
Yeah.
Man, I love pizza. Anyway, back to the real stuff. Oh, it's cold. So we're going to test the DJI Osmo with the X3 head on it. So, get rid of the banjo case. Friggin' hell. So quick it is to set up. Doop. On the front here we got ND filter. There we go, got a picture. This is the funny walk. You've got to use this silly walk to get rid of your bounce so that the shots don't go up and down, up and down, up and down. I'll spin it round to the sun. So much.
I got you locked in.
Oh, hang on, I need that flare shot. Hang on. It's upside down. Right, I'll try and do a piece to camera, but I'll use the audio from there because I reckon the audio from here is going to be awful. Hang on. Okay. Curly hair problems, getting caught in the tree. Obviously the image is going to be a lot better out of the C100 compared to this, but this is such a flexible camera because it's so small, and it's a very quick setup time. You literally just turn it on, turn the Wi-Fi on your phone, and there you go. So obviously here I'm not really trying to compare the cameras as such, just showing the difference between handheld and a gimbal. Oh, that looks lovely. I'm really underexposing this, but I think it looks good. And we've got a natural cut point here. Whoa. The gimbal settings were on slow there, I think, so the responsiveness is very slow to your movement, which is great for smooth shots. It was too dark under this bridge because the sun is so harsh, there's no clouds, it's very contrasty under that bridge. It's very contrasty everywhere. So I've taken off the ND filter, but now the sky's blown out, and I didn't want to use the high ISOs of this camera because everything just goes to mush and you lose all your detail. I don't like adjusting the shutter. So I've made a compromise, which I don't always like to do, by putting the shutter up to 100 and bringing the ISO right down to 100. So let's see how this goes. Because of a very high contrast situation, I just filmed in an art profile, I think using like Philip Bloom's sharpness and saturation settings, but this camera does have the option to shoot D-Log, which is DJI's version of log, and Cinelike. Cinelike seems to have darker shadows, and log just a flatter image all around. So I'll do the same shot in log, and hopefully we won't blow out so much of the background. This is because that ND filter is maybe a bit too strong for that situation. I'd maybe need an ND 9 or 6 to find that balance right, but I've only got one. Now on review of this shot, they're both holding detail in the shadows and in the highlights. But if I could do this again, I'd probably use a lesser ND and darken that D-Log image to bring down those highlights a touch more, because in D-Log I find the shadows are brought up a lot higher. So there's a greater flexibility in that image in post. Phone's died. Let's see how good the Osmo can be winging it. I bet it's overblown, it's a mess, I can't see what I'm doing. So there's a lesson. Wasn't actually that bad. Yeah, I suppose you gotta have your phone charged all the time. You got your phone?
Yeah, I should've.
Haha. Or you have a friend. Who's also got the DJI Go app. Wi-Fi. Camera. Crane shot, yeah. I'm going to shoot that same thing again in 4K and downscale it to 1080p in the edit and see if there's much of a difference. There's a lot of detail in this scene. Okay. The Osmo does allocate a bit more data rate to the 4K image, 60 megabits a second as opposed to 30 megabits a second. So in general, I do think you're going to get a better image shooting 4K and scaling it down to 1080p in the edit. So if I was going to shoot that properly, I'd probably have a Ronin and a big boy camera and some nice cine lenses, probably a polarizing filter, some NDs, and it just gets a bit weighty and I'm not strong. But it all depends on the expectations of the client or the audience, I guess. So if your audience or your client is expecting cinema quality, there's only one route you can go down, but that's going to be expensive. You need a good budget for that kind of thing. Whereas the Osmo is going to cost you around 550 quid to get you going, and it's got plenty of options in there, but a lot I might not use. 100 frames a second and high ISOs are really mushy. and the picture quality isn't bad, but when you get it right, there is a sweet spot with this camera. I'm still figuring that out, but you can get an absolutely lovely image out of it. So as always, I hope this has been useful for you and you've been able to see what the Osmo is both good and bad for. And if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, then let me know what you want to see. I've been Kills on Camera. Peace. Mustache. Now we got that out of the way, we can focus on the real stuff. The story of Machin and his ball. Where'd you get that football from? Huh? Where'd you find that football from? Bullshit!
I just found that ball and I already love it.
Yeah.
This to keep the camera steady like that.
Hey?
And look, I've got the ball under my hand, it's resting on my body, and it's nice and smooth.